Despite the success of Saw X, Lionsgate is proving that it learned the right lessons from the 2023 horror movie by delaying Saw 11. With Saw 11 pushed back by a whole year, Lionsgate will have enough time to reflect on the things that did and didn't work for Saw X, which should position Saw 11 to be an even bigger hit. Even though Saw 11's plot is currently unknown, its delayed release makes it possible for Lionsgate to explore a plethora of options ranging from a prequel uncovering past mysteries, to a sequel that introduces new characters and traps. Saw 11's delay is great for the franchise's future because it demonstrates that an emphasis is being placed on quality over quantity. Previously, subsequent movies in the Saw franchise would be released within a relatively short period of time, which would effectively rule out the necessary time for the movies to be developed properly. As such, the franchise as a whole has felt inconsistent, and the sheer number of convoluted story beats and revolving door of characters makes things hard to follow both for old and new audiences. Nevertheless, Saw 11's delays can improve things for the better. Saw 11's release date being delayed a year shows the franchise isn't rushing. The quality of previous installments reduced because the stories and characters weren't fleshed out. Although the Saw franchise has developed a reputation as one of the most popular horror franchises of its time, its history of inconsistent quality primarily stems from the swift releases of most entries in the horror series. Whereas 2004's Saw boasted an interesting premise, compelling characters, and creative kills, subsequent movies gradually moved away from developing its narrative in favor of riding the wave of its early success. The focus on quantity over quality might have made the Saw franchise one of the most popular, but many of the sequels in the series aren't as memorable as the first entry. In the case of the Saw franchise's most recent entry, Saw X, it was met with far more praise than any previous entry in the series, including the very first, with much of the praise being attributed to its well-developed story, interesting characters, and satisfying traps. Instead of rushing to release yet another entry in the Saw series, Lionsgate is taking a different approach by examining precisely what made Saw X such a massive success. Saw 11 being delayed might not sit well with everyone, but it has the potential to make it the biggest hit in the series. Saw 11 can be an even bigger success than Saw X now. Lionsgate can develop Saw 11's story, characters, kills, etc. with the extra time. Saw 11's delay allows Lionsgate to build on the excitement of the next installment's pending release date via clever marketing, potential news of old characters and traps returning, etc. Instead of releasing a sequel before audiences have adequately digested the previous installment, audiences will have more than enough time to think the events over, revisit the entire franchise in preparation, and so on. With the additional time in between sequels, Lionsgate can properly develop Saw 11, and audiences can brace themselves for what's to come.